So a few years ago, people were doing these build challenges where they were trying to make really, really tiny houses. I saw these and I thought they were so cool. I wanted to be a part of it. So I immediately went out and I bought the pack that had like all the small house stuff in it. I don't know what it's properly called. It was actually brand new at the time, so you can tell that I started participating in that challenge like a really long time ago. I really thought I had some videos of my old builds, but I couldn't find them. I could do a house tour, but that just doesn't feel quite the same. I'm not sure I could adequately recreate these houses exactly the way I built them the first time around. But for a long time, I've been wanting to build a house that was like the bare minimum space wise. So basically, every square inch of space in this house is there for a reason. And I actually started off making it a little bit too wide and a little bit too long, but through tweaking, I was able to build this house exactly as it needed to be. It had been a while since I played Sims 4, and funnily enough, I actually almost forgot to give this little house a dining room or a dining area. I hadn't planned for that area when I was first planning this house out in my head, and that was such a huge oversight. Like, how do you forget something like that? I don't know. But at the last minute, I remembered to add in the table and the chairs. And once I added that, I'm pretty sure this house literally has everything a sim needs to survive. And it's so tiny. This house reminds me so much of actual small houses I've seen on YouTube, where people take like sheds or trailers and turn them into tiny homes. So my original aesthetic was to make this house all like white and gray with hints of black where I just had to add them. I thought the lighter colors would make this house feel a little bit more spacious and open, which I think is kind of important in a small place like this. However, I randomly started adding in blue stuff. You'll see that with the bathroom tiles. And there's a few other things in here that add in just a little bit of pops of color. Also, I was a bit upset that I couldn't make the windows and the door the same color, but I couldn't. They're similar. I don't like that they got rid of the color customization options you had in Sims 3, but a lot of people complain about that. So I chose to use one of the tile backsplash walls here at the kitchen, but I'm not really sure about what I put around the door. At first I used the stone, but then I didn't like that, so I chose something slightly different. I think it kind of goes together in the fact that I used similar colors, but I'm not sure I ultimately like how it turned out. And then on this other part of the wall, I used that blue color. It was a lot darker than what I really wanted to go with. I wanted to go with something very neutral that would make the space feel more open, but I ended up going with a color that I actually really liked. But I still think it turned out really well in there, actually. So I decided to add in some little decor things. I know that can tend to make Sims a little bit happier, being a well-decorated space, so I added in some plants. I felt like that kind of went with the aesthetic of what was already here. There's a little plant on that painting that comes with the bed couch set, so I could draw from those colors and put in a little bit more greens. I kind of wanted to put a little plant on the table just there in the corner, but I didn't have anything small enough. I realized after making this that there's some kind of way you can size down plants. I don't remember how to do that. I'm not sure I ever knew how to do that. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've built anything on this game. So here you'll see me adding on the roof. At first I made the roof kind of drape over the sides and the back of the house, but I decided I didn't like the way that looked. When it came to decorating the outside of the house, I wanted it to look a little bit minimalistic because this house is all about minimalism. It's tiny, it only has the essentials, it only has enough space to make the essentials work. I decorated it in this sort of minimalistic aesthetic, so I wanted the outside to reflect what was going on inside the house. So here I'll use a terrain tool to make a path from the pathway to the door. Probably should have used a guide, but I didn't. I did it by hand, and I actually think it turned out okay. I used those rocks to kind of cover up where I thought the mistakes were the worst, but overall, I'm pretty happy with the way this build looks. So of course I had to add in a trash can. There wasn't really room for a trash can on the inside, and since we're doing a very minimalistic build here, I didn't feel the need to add one anyway. I gave the house kind of a once over, looking all around, And then I decided to pop in a couple of Sims to make sure that this house was perfectly livable. I just had these Sims pre-made that I'd made from a previous game. I don't even know who they are, to be completely honest with you, or why I made them, but I do vaguely remember making them a long time ago. So I popped them into this game and had them basically sit on things, take a shower, pull the couch down into a bed. I wanted to make sure that everything was working and playable, and then I added this house to the gallery, so you can download it if you really want to. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like, subscribe, and share. I might do more builds like this in the future. I hope to do more challenge builds on Sims 4, and I'd really like to get the interior decorator. What is that, a pack? Anyway, hope to see you back again.